We are live.
Happy
Hi,
New Year.
Gloria. Yeah, it's awesome to be here. Hi, everybody. We wanted to come on today and wish everybody a happy new year and talk about goal setting. Here you
Yeah,
go.
Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, it's first day of the year, and I think the best thing to talk about is like what are our plans this year, and how did we decide on what we are going to do this year? Like, I'd say personally that I started off actually planning the year back in November. And the best way to do that was like first setting a big goal for the year. One of my coaches talks a lot about that, about setting a big goal that kind of excites you, that you don't actually know how you're going to achieve it, because that's what's really going to, it just makes it exciting and you're more motivated to reach that goal, because once you do, like, won't that be amazing? So she just forces her clients to really push and reach for a bigger goal. So that's what I did. I have like personally an income goal this year, and and then once I set that, the way that I've actually tried to figure out how to get to that goal is actually putting it in a spreadsheet, and like actually like project by project, figuring out how I'm going to reach that, and actually putting in a number of hours it's going to take, number of projects, and
You're
then just
project managing it.
and making sure that it's actually going to total that total income goal for the year.
Oh, that's awesome. You're really approaching it like an engineer.
Yeah. But I just really like, and then you can really see whether it's achievable or not, right? So it helps you put a plan together. I can share that with people if they're interested later.
Yeah. So, Azure, how, like, would you say that, like, how else do you measure goals? A lot of people talk about setting SMART goals. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's something else. What both of us have done this year is that setting those SMART goals. So that's for being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time sensitive, or time bound. And if you go through those steps and make sure that you're hitting them all, then it helps you actually formulate a good goal,
Yeah.
one that you can hopefully stick to. So SMART, specific. It should be something that, something tangible, not just like I'm going to try to be healthier this year. Has to be like, if it's about health, then it should be like a specific target weight, or maybe pant size, or something like that. And that kind of ties into the measurable side of it. If you can actually measure it, then you know that it's specific. And then it's SM achievable. You want to make
Yeah.
sure that you could actually achieve it in the amount of time that you're giving yourself. Again, like, you want to set a big goal for yourself, but still make sure that, like, if you did work really hard and stuck to your plans for the year and stuck to your habits, that you would actually achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of similar to realistic. It's got to be realistic. Like, if you
Yeah.
and I think the way to measure that, or to decide on that, is like, has someone else done that in a year or even in less time? Then so could you. If it's almost impossible to lose a certain amount of weight in like 2 weeks, then that's not realistic. And then you have to have kind of have a timeline. So instead of just saying I'm going to achieve this goal, by when. So right now we're setting goals for the year. So the goal is the end of next year, or end of this year.
Yeah, and what I really liked about that exercise is that at the beginning you're saying, okay, what's my goal? And you're writing it down. And then you're going through all these steps of specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And you're sort of vetting your initial goals, your initial goal by these lenses, through these lenses. And then you revise your goal based on the answers that you get to those questions. Like, is my goal realistic? What depending on the type of resources I have at my disposal, right, to achieve it on time and to actually achieve that goal. So I really like that approach to goal setting. Also, as part of this exercise, we developed a high-level action plan, I would say, basically talking about the steps that we would need to take to get to our goals. And each action item has outlined expected completion dates. And then beside it is actual completion date. So going back, Zora, to your original point of, project managing your goals, that I feel like there always need to be this reflection on, okay, so what did I tell myself I'm going to accomplish by when? And did I actually do that? And the last part, did you want to talk about the potential obstacles and solutions as part of that?
That's another part of it. So setting the goal is one thing, but then starting to formulate a plan, it comes down to those action items. For myself, I really only got 2 months in. I kind of figured out what my action steps are the next 2 months. And then the next step is potential obstacles. So right off the bat, thinking about what could kind of get in your way and potential solutions for that. And that also helps you think about whether your goal is realistic, if it's achievable, and starting to be kind of proactive about that. Because if you can say chances are I'm going to be, or not, it's possible that I could be distracted from my goal by doing these things. So you can just right off the bat say, okay, well, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to try, to get back to focusing on my goal if I get distracted.
It's almost like you're brainstorming potential obstacles, right? And right away in your mind, you're asking your mind to start brainstorming how you would be overcoming those obstacles. So what's the course of action there?
Yeah, and solutions.
I really like that reflection.
Before it even happens.
Before it even happens, because our minds are powerful things, and if we ask them to do something, they will do it, even when we are not specifically thinking about them. Guys, as you're joining our live, why don't you say hello, drop us some comments.
Hopefully, we want to see if we can see the comments.
Yeah, we want to test if we actually can see people's comments. We did make our broadcast public. That's what it seemed like the issue was last time. But let us know if you're here, and we would be happy to
just say hi so that we can see.
Another, what I wanted to say is I wanted to talk about also another way of approaching goal setting and reflection for the new year. And it basically has to do with that mindset and the emotional state that we are in, having basically reflecting on where we are, reflecting on mistakes that we did in the past year. And you can think about it the way you want to think about it, think about it in your personal life context, your business life context. But basically, whatever comes to your mind first is likely what you need to reflect on first. And just ask yourself, so where did I struggle? Where did I divert my attention? Or where did I lose my way on achieving my my goals?
For this past year.
Yeah, past year, right? And if you could go back, what would you do differently in that year? So I feel like that's extremely powerful because it makes you reflect, right?
Mm-hmm.
On your mistakes, because often we learn the most from our mistakes. Not from somebody else's mistakes, but from our own. Did you want to say something?
What was the second question?
The second one was, so what negative things are you holding on to that you don't want to take into 2022? So just write them down and be completely clear on what you need to let go of. So you can make 2022 the best year yet. So always reflect on what would you do differently. And then there is another question is, and basically also has to do with, the emotional state, the relationships in our life. Would you feel guilty about having done or said, and what would you do differently? And the question after that talks about, did you blame someone or something else? And where did you fail to take the 100% personal responsibility? What would you do differently there? So I find that this exercise is so powerful because it gets to the core of who we are as people, right? The emotional state, our relationships, because often things that prevent us from achieving our goals and the outcomes that we want to get to is ourselves and whatever we have, our mindset, our
Definitely.
emotional state.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about that. And that was even one of the things I listed in my like potential obstacles is just mindset. But like, what are some ways that get around that? I find that it's just being surrounded by other people, being other people that kind of looking to do the same thing, around people who have already achieved what I want to achieve. It really helps with mindset.
Yeah,
Able to get that belief that you can achieve it.
I agree. Mindset is the biggest one, I find, right? Because you can learn the strategies, you can read books on how to do X, Y, Z, but it's the mindset, the things that are at the core of who you are, really
Yes.
can really make it or break it for you.
Yeah.
So it's how do you overcome those I don't want to say it's not innate, it's internal obstacles,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's possible to overcome them. It's just how, right? And people study this. It's a work in progress all the time. People study this and try to do this all their life. Like, I feel like, I don't know, Zora, what do you think? But I feel like there's probably not a chance that somebody can say, oh, I am like a complete master of my mindset. I overcame every single obstacle that I've had.
No, no, because just like Edna always says, new level, new devil. So once you get kind of like into a new level in your business or your life, then there's just more that you could achieve. There's more that you could do, even like the most successful people in the world, right? There's even more. So then you have to then get to a higher mindset of, and kind of, it really is a belief in yourself, that it's possible and that you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings the fact that even the most successful people have coaches themselves.
Absolutely.
Like, they do. If they want to keep scaling their business, if they want to keep working and challenging themselves, I don't think anyone would say, oh, that's it, I'm done. Like, I'm good. I don't need a coach anymore. Maybe there are people who are fine without coaches, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard is that even the most successful people continuously work on self-improvement and their mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah. So, another question there in that exercise was, were there situations where you showed up differently than the person that you want to be? And that's such a powerful question because at the core of goal setting and outcome setting, first of all, goals and outcomes are different things, right? But when you're reflecting on what you want to achieve in the new year, the powerful way for doing that is reflecting on what kind of person you want to become. Who do you want to be? And if last year you somehow didn't show up as that person that you want to be, then that's an important point to reflect on.
Yeah, and you can kind of identify the gap between where you want to be and where you are now, and or the person you want to be and the person you are. and then you can, once you kind of narrow in on what that is, then it's a lot easier to fix it or improve.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, right? Because it like gives you sort of a bridge to say, okay, this is how I said I want to be. So how does that person show up?
Yeah.
And a lot of time that comes with jumping through that fear. I'm in my mind, like I'm just picturing this canyon and like, two shores, and you need to jump from here to like here. And it's fear in between, right? It's scary, it's unknown.
Yeah.
Perhaps you've never done that before. It's outside of not only your mental comfort zone, maybe even physical sometimes. And you're thinking, how on earth am I going to get there? So maybe the question is about how, right? And what would the person that you want to be doing?
Yeah, start there. And I think
Yeah,
a lot of the times it's like, what habits does that person have? Because it's not really like when you're setting a goal for the whole year, it can be a bit daunting. But if you can break it down into your just daily and weekly habits and just sticking to that and just being persistent with it, I believe that's the way to actually achieve it.
yeah, exactly. It's the persistence, the continuous action, and yeah, it's easier said than done, though, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
yeah, you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh, I am comfortable under my blankets. It's still dark
Yeah.
outside. I don't want to get up.
Yeah. But that's it. We keep trying to every year, trying to get better and trying to achieve those goals that we set for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the strategies that I heard maybe last year, but YouTube has a good way of reminding you, really powerful speeches and videos. Anyways, the strategy is by Mel Robinson, the 5-second rule,
Mm-hmm.
where you're basically thinking about how NASA counts it down, and then you count it from 5 to 1, and then you do that scary thing that you're really afraid of. So it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're just like NASA launching yourself off
You have
to
to
do
do
the
it.
scary
Yeah.
thing, to do that phone call, or to jump out of the bed and go do exercise.
Yeah. Has that worked for you? Have you tried it?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah, when I was just starting out last year, talking to sellers and trying to find off-market deals, I was hunting for agreement for sale deals when that was still my focus. So yeah, and that can be really nerve-wracking because you don't know who those people are how they're going to react to your introduction to what you're trying to do. Um, but it's at the end of the day, the more calls you do, the less scary they become, and you just
Yeah.
do them.
Yeah, absolutely. You just get used to it. That's how
Yeah,
I've done it.
exactly. And then you develop a really good script. You just become more confident the way you say it. And people react well to that for the most part. They can tell you right away if they're interested or not, or yeah. But it's
But
an
just
art.
doing it before you're really ready.
Yeah, exactly. Just making that commitment in your mind that I have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll
I think
never
the
really be
goal,
fully ready.
no, never, right?
Yeah.
Because the goals that we put in front of ourselves are there for a reason. There was a reason why we decided to have them, the outcomes that we want to achieve, the people that we want to become.
Yeah. Just like
So
this.
there
We're
must
not
be
really fully ready to like do a live, but we just jump in and do it.
yeah, and that's what we did today. So I actually counted, well, from what did we count, from 3 to 1 or 1 to 3, I don't know.
Yeah. We jumped on.
Yeah, and then here we are live, so it's not
We'll
always
figure out the comments next time. We'll do
yeah,
a
I
trial
still
one.
don't see your comments, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know if you're leaving them or not, but it doesn't
There
look
are
like.
some comments, but I just don't know how to display them.
Are you
We'll
able to see
figure it out.
them here on StreamYard, Zoria?
No, I don't see them.
Oh, okay, on Facebook. Yeah, yeah, we are a work in progress.
Yeah. Like the
Even
only way we can test it though is to do it live. So
to do it live,
we'll
yeah.
figure it out though.
But that's the whole point, right? Like if we were waiting for everything to be 100% perfect, I don't even know when we would have started these lives, to be
No.
honest, because
Yeah.
it's not something that's and maybe this time we'll be waking up and be like, yeah, today's Saturday. We're doing a live at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We need to get there.
But on that note, yeah, we are going to, if you missed our first one, this is our multifamily horror lives, and we are going to be doing this every Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So please join us. We're going to be talking about, today was about goals, but we're going to get more into different multifamily topics, but real estate, how to get started, how to just go to the next step wherever you're at. We're here to share our journey and to help you along yours.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the issues that we are encountering as we are working on our projects, how we are solving those issues. Yeah, it's going to be honest truth.
Yeah.
And feel free to join us. We would love for you to keep leaving comments. We'll figure this thing out, how to display your comments, and so
how
that
to
we
see.
have a little bit more interaction.
But I can see that, yeah, Dina said, well done on just doing it. Chris says, hi, guys. Melissa says, hi, ladies.
Nice.
I thought that Natalie had a comment too. Now I lost it. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yes, on that note, we wish you a very happy new year, all the prosperity and health and wellness in the new year. And let's get in touch. And we hope to see you next Saturday.
Yeah.
In your
See you
comments.
soon.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.